What's going on? Mchanga here. With so many laptops constantly being introduced to the market, it's hard to pin down that one laptop that has everything that everyone is looking for. While I don't think the perfect laptop for everyone exists, you can find some great options with an affordable price tag. Today, we're taking a look at the Lenovo ThinkBook 14 Gen 2, and this is the AMD Ryzen model. If you prefer Intel, I'll leave that one linked below as well. With a starting price of $629 US, you might expect some cut corners with the design, but that's not the case here. We get an all-metal build that feels solid and durable. At 3.09 pounds or 1.4 kilograms, it's not too heavy and it doesn't feel flimsy either. This has a 180-degree hinge and it does feel rigid. I love the two-tone or dual-tone mineral gray silver color of the lid. It looks really nice. It's a business laptop that isn't all that monotone in appearance. So the port selection is pretty good. On the left, we get two full-featured USB Type-C ports that you also use to charge the laptop, HDMI, a USB Type-A port, plus the headphone microphone combo jack. On the right, there's a lock slot, Ethernet port, the second USB Type-A port, and the 4-in-1 card reader. If you want access to Thunderbolt, pick up the Intel model instead. Now, the display on this is not bad. It's a little dim for me at 250 nits. You can get the touchscreen model that measures right at 300 nits of brightness if you don't mind paying a bit more. It's a 14-inch 1080 IPS panel with a 16:9 aspect ratio. Colors and text look good and sharp. Plus, it's a matte display, so reflections aren't an issue. It's not the absolute best, it's definitely not the worst. It's a decent display, especially for business use. Above the display is the 720p webcam. It gets the job done for Skype and Zoom calls, plus it has that physical privacy shutter. Moving down to the keyboard deck, this isn't a ThinkPad keyboard, but the typing experience is nice and comfortable. It has a familiar Lenovo layout. It has good key travel, no squishy typing, and it's backlit. The power button here also serves as a fingerprint reader. It works well and it's been accurate in my testing. The trackpad is a good size and it glides well for navigation and gestures. On the bottom of the laptop, we get the dual 2-watt stereo speakers. They won't blow you away, but the clarity and volume are there for a good listening experience for the non-audiophile. So when it comes to specs, you get a couple of options. This is the AMD Ryzen 5 4500U model with integrated Radeon graphics and 8 gigs of RAM. Normally, I wouldn't complain about 8 gigs of RAM in a laptop at this price, but it's not in dual channel mode. You 100% want your memory in dual channel mode for optimal performance. Luckily, there is another RAM slot available under this cover, so you can add another stick for higher performance. If you don't want to deal with adding it yourself, you can configure this at the time of purchase to include 16 gigs of RAM. You can also pick this up with the AMD Ryzen 7 processor for even more power. The storage is also upgradable, and my review unit came with a 256 gig NVMe SSD. If you want to add even more, there's even a space under here for a SATA drive. So many recent laptops have everything soldered to the motherboard, so it's refreshing to have some user access. All the usual suspects are also here, which include Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1. These AMD Ryzen processors offer great overall performance. It's really no different here on the ThinkBook 14. Everyday tasks like browsing the web and watching YouTube videos is a breeze. There are also no issues when using the Microsoft suite of applications. If your workflow includes editing photos or even light video editing, you can get it done on this laptop. Obviously, this isn't a gaming machine by any stretch of the imagination, but you can play games on it. GTA 5, Fortnite, Valorant, you can play them all in 1080, but not with the highest settings. Also, this is taking into account the added stick of RAM. If you decide to stick with the default 8 gigs of RAM, your gameplay will suffer, but you can still play a little. The performance on this ThinkBook 14 is as expected with this Ryzen processor. It has a really good performance to price ratio. For the money, it's a good choice for a wide range of users that include students, business professionals, and even someone that works from home. Battery life is not too bad with the 45 watt-hour battery. I consistently get 7 hours doing the normal everyday tasks like typing up emails, web browsing, and catching a few episodes of my shows on Netflix. If you decide to do any gaming, photo or video editing, or anything slightly more taxing on the CPU, expect a decrease in the battery life. Thermal throttling wasn't an issue here, so the performance and heat management are fairly well balanced. Not only did it not get too hot to the touch, but the single fan hasn't been loud and unruly at all. For the money of the ThinkBook 14 Gen 2 with AMD Ryzen, I can recommend it as long as you know what to expect. This is not going to be your graphic design, 3D modeling, gaming workhorse. It wasn't designed for that, and that's fine. I love the design, the build quality is good for long-term use, the battery life can get most people through the workday, and the performance offers a lot for the value of the machine. All the links will be listed below in the video description. If you like this video and want to see more from me, hit the like button. If you feel like it, jump down in the comments section and tell me some important features you like in a laptop. If you haven't already and want to show your support, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you tap the bell icon so you'll be notified every time I post new content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.